meeting of the Ripon School Board to order. And the first order of business is to take oral roll call, and I'll ask Jolene to do that.
Have you done that electronically already, David, or?
Yeah,
You want to just do
it's all set
It's all done
electronically.
electronically? Okay, so we can just
If
verify it?
If that's okay.
Yeah. All right, I would verify that this open session of the Board of Education of the Ripon Area School District has been properly noticed under Wisconsin's open meeting laws, and that it is in compliance with the provision in state statute 19.48 and related legal references. To start the meeting, I would read the district's vision statement, one of Wisconsin's finest school districts, fostering excellence for all through innovation. And at this time, we look to adopt the agenda. We've all had a chance to look through that. If there are no suggested changes, we'll adopt the agenda as is. We move on to the next item, which is verification that newly elected board members have signed their oaths of office.
And they have.
Wonderful. And welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. All right. Your first order of business as new school board members, and for everyone else, is this time I would request nominations for board president for the next school year.
I nominate Josh.
There is a
form.
electronic form.
If you go, was it supposed to be secret?
Doesn't
It's
matter.
okay.
If you go under the election board officers, you'll find a PDF there, and there is a link to enter your nominations for president.
And just a reminder that there are term limits on our offices, and so the person
First
who
item.
would not be eligible
Reorg balance.
to be nominated for president would
Click on
be David
number one
Scott,
under
because he
board
has served
president,
more than.
and fill that out, and hit submit at the bottom.
Just so new board members know, you can nominate yourself if you're interested in a position. You don't have to be nominated by someone else.
Okay.
And once we receive all the nominations, we'll take a moment to ensure that anyone who is nominated is willing to accept that office, and then we'll move into the actual voting part of the election.
Yeah.
Are we just doing one at a time, or should we go through all of them?
Just the president.
Yep.
So I'm still waiting on Jessica and Stephanie.
Does everyone have to nominate someone?
I don't know.
I don't
They
think
don't
everyone
have
has to
to.
nominate, so.
No? Okay, so is
But you
everyone,
can still,
everyone?
I think you can still hit submit at the bottom of your thing with a link.
Okay.
Where you can put-
Let's just do other.
Yeah, I think we have to do other.
Yep,
Yeah.
do other.
Yeah, I can take the requirement off on that, guys. I'll do that. So I have to just do a quick refresh. Okay.
I just did other NA.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that too. Then you don't have to go and change anything. If
Okay.
you don't have a name you want to nominate, just put any in the other category.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So now we have.
So Okay, so at this time, the following board members have been nominated for the office of president: Josh Reeder, Lori Mockmuller, and Tom Stellmacher.
I think to remove my name.
Okay, is there anyone else that wants to remove their name? Okay, now you can go into the next, which is the election ballot for board president.
On mine, that's not a link.
So, I don't have that either.
For all of the election ballots, for like going down the line, none of them are linked.
What's it?
The links aren't working?
Not
It
There
is.
isn't the links for the election ballot part for the president, vice president, clerk, board treasurer. There's a nomination ballot that's hyperlinked,
That's
but
interesting because it's showing.
That's weird. Okay, then this is what I'm gonna do, guys. I apologize for that. I'm just gonna go into electronic school board, and I will take that PDF off that's on there, and I'll just add a new PDF. Because on the PDF I have it here, the links are working, okay?
That's a great solution.
All right. Strange that that didn't work. Oh, look at that. I just had to look and see what it
They
looked
just
like.
don't even show that there's a link in the
Right.
yours shows all of them, so
Yes.
that's
Okay.
interesting.
All right, so, the only thing is you may, once I get it on here, you may have to refresh. Give me just a second, let me make sure it's on there, okay?
just pop that.
Sweet. I like it when things work. And you just click my big save button here.
Yep.
Does it look okay now, guys?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
I apologize. Thank you for waiting for me. Okay, so this would be for election.
Okay, you'll have to give me a chance, because I'm getting a 404. I can't, I don't get anything when I click on it.
They work for me.
Maybe you were just saying.
It's worked for you, Josh?
Four
Okay.
on four is probably the whole thing.
There we go. No, that's the wrong thing.
It's the bottom one.
Okay, I'm all right now.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay, great.
All right. And Lori had 6 votes, and Josh had 3. So Lori, you get to come on down.
Thank you. David's gonna run the meeting for
You're gonna run
today,
the
because he's
meeting,
water, and verbally run through the meeting then.
You're in charge now. You take over from there.
Okay, so the next thing we
You
need
want
to
to
do,
do you want to come up here? Yeah, you get to come up here.
What's
Your
your
name
name?
tag.
It's with the big dog table.
Okay. I practiced a few times.
I'll take it.
So, let's keep this.
Thanks, Mary.
Yep.
Thank you. Tom, I don't know, taking over 215, maybe close to 304 meetings that ever got
Yeah,
this
we
thing.
need to, but right now.
Just this, right?
So
There'd be a couple in there that you
Might
might
have missed.
I'm not gonna be able to see.
Kind of
but-
fun. I have it right here too, so.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so next thing we need to do is nominate someone, nominate people for vice president. So go on in and do that.
Okay, looks like we have all nominations, and those are the people that have been nominated.
Okay, Josh, David, Katie, and Denise. Josh, are you interested?
No.
Okay. David?
I'll keep my name on.
Okay. Katie? Denise?
Sure.
So we vote between David and Denise. Let's go ahead and cast your ballot.
We're supposed to have storms tonight. We'll see.
Okay. Votes for vice president, Denise has 5 and David has 4. Congratulations, Denise. Okay, let's take my nominations for clerk.
Just in case people don't know, if you're clerk, you sign a lot of papers. That's basically all you do. Tom, how long have you been clerk? Is this just your first year?
Yes,
So you're still eligible?
yep, the only person that wasn't eligible to be reelected was you.
We're just waiting for more people to finish voting.
Was everybody who wanted to submitted?
Okay, 2 nominees for clerk are Tom and David. So please vote.
Say those again, please.
Tom and David.
Thank you. You want to
I'll just,
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to be the
Tom
clerk?
can be clerk.
You want to be the clerk? All right. So
Want
do
me
we
to
still
vote?
vote? We still have to put a vote in? Okay. So since there's only one, we don't have to put a vote in. All right, congratulations, Tom. Now we need nominations for treasurer, please. So I just put them. So we'll see. Did everybody that wants to nominate someone? Okay. Our nominees for treasurer, and I'll ask you then if you want to be part of this. Jessica, David, Katie, Stephanie, and Chris. Jessica, would you like to be?
I will pass, thank you.
Okay. David?
I'll pass.
Okay. Katie? Nope. Stephanie?
Sure.
Okay. Chris?
I'll pass.
Okay. Congratulations. All right. Congratulations, everybody. What?
That's one thing.
Yeah, just, next thing is appointment of a CISA representative. Does anybody want to be our representative to CISA?
And this is the position, David, that Gary was talking about, that he's on the board of Board of
Yeah, so
Control.
CISA meets once a month, and every district in the CISA has a member that's a representative that can go to those meetings, but then there's the Board of Control, it's like the school board, only for the whole CISA, and Ripon happens to have just finished his first year of a 3-year term, so whoever for us goes is actually on the Board of Control, which means you stay for a little bit longer meeting afterwards, where they deal with the real business. The rest of it is more organizational, informational kinds of things. But then we make actual decisions about things. And you can stay for that, but whoever goes for Ripon will have to stay for that, because you'll be actually on the board. And I'm not sure when they're regular. The annual meeting is Wednesday, June 18th. They were meeting regularly the first Tuesday or the second Tuesday of the month. I don't know. Gary didn't say when they're regularly meeting now.
Is it in the evening?
Yes, but early evening,
Like
6 o'clock.
Is anybody interested?
I would, but not until June. Tuesdays only out because I'm finishing out the track season.
Sure.
I wouldn't be able to
So it'd just be May.
May and beginning part of June.
That'd be fine, because it's technically the start, I think, June 18th with the annual meeting.
All right, thank you.
And it's at 5:30.
Is it 5:30?
Tuesdays are
Didn't think of that.
meet days and I'm not able to myself.
All right, next, we need to appoint, a member to the Education Foundation. A representative, is there anybody that would like to do that? Denise? Somebody else. Anybody else?
In those meetings, I don't know what's on that.
That's it.
Yeah, those, are you doing that session as well? Those meetings are on like the third Wednesday. I think it's
Any other board representation? Let's see. We don't know what we're gonna exactly have for committees yet. We wanted to talk to Ron about that once he starts. Do we want to form a policy committee or no? Should we wait until after he starts? Because that would be one of our committees then. I guess that's how I was looking at it. Okay.
We always have to have a policy committee. I don't know if it has to be
I
the
don't
same
know.
as it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Depends on what
we
he
don't really
wants.
have any because the last batch just went through, so I know we're good waiting.
Just till, yeah, okay. So in July, we'll talk about that.
I apologize, it's the second Wednesday. In the morning? It's in the evening at 6:30, but there's always a virtual option. Yes.
Any other board representation that we need to, are we going to do, the other thing is the building representation. Do we want to do that, or do we want to wait until July and see how Ron wants to handle that as well? What do you guys think?
I have a question. How did that work out in the past couple of years?
Yeah, I think it might be good to talk about that with,
Yeah,
with Ron so that he's able to be a part of that conversation. Because I think there were some misunderstandings about what the purpose was. It originally was set up just so that there would be board members at public events in the evening, and that was the intent. And at the time, there were a lot of school board members that had high school students, and so the high school events were really being well attended, but not elementary and middle school.
okay.
But I think the board has changed enough where there aren't board members that have maybe kids just at the high school, so it might make sense to do it differently, and, there may be board members that want to be seen at events, and not that, it was never that you couldn't attend another event, but just to make sure there was at least someone. So I think it would be good to just wait.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be kind of fun to do, and then he'll be able to be a part of your
Yeah.
conversation, hear your thoughts, and any questions you have.
Let's see. Board meeting procedures for the upcoming year. Is that another thing then we should probably wait until Ron is here to discuss? See if he has any changes. Board member orientation questions. I'm guessing you guys went through orientation with Jolene already and Mary? Does anybody have questions, or you have a million questions and just don't know what to ask yet? Because I know that's how I was.
Kind of will learn as we go. I
Yes,
guess.
yeah. And every
Yeah.
time it's different.
Yeah, and Jolene is fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was
I did
awesome.
I did run copies because I was on the WASB site today, and they have an updated new board member handbook. And when I was looking through that, I thought, there is so much good information in here that maybe even Tom might enjoy. So I printed copies for everybody, but like even in the back, there's a whole section on what all the acronyms are. And so, I mean, if you've been on the board for a long time, maybe even that might be handy. And I just thought as a refresher, and especially if you're gonna be spending some time at a board retreat or spending time with Ron, it might just kind of anchor everybody in the same way. So I thought that was a good resource. I
Keep it
just,
handy because you maybe have to bring it to the.
yeah, I thought it'd be handy for all of you to have that. So that's why we have that here, okay?
Next item on our agenda is
Can I bring up
Yeah,
something else?
sure.
Because Chris had a great question.
So,
He noticed
does
something.
anybody else, or did anybody notice in this IC board, the My Private Notes section, does anybody use them?
I don't use them.
I just noticed it when I was going through and whatnot, that even through the meeting, once it was there, that it was available if you click on My Private Notes, that you could take things in right there so that it was there when you came to the meeting then as well.
Right.
Or for future, during the meeting, if you wanted to hit My Private Notes, it stayed there, it was always then associated with your account and either. So I didn't know if anybody was, I thought it'd be a little bit easier than a paper to
Thank
be able to
you.
go through. So I haven't tried it yet, because I didn't know where it was gonna go if it did work, but thought I would at least ask about it. And Joel said that you should put it out.
It's a tool I don't think that a lot of people have used, but I know if I was sitting on the board, I would love that. And
I didn't even know it was there.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't pay attention to it
Thank you.
myself, so, you know, just another tool in your toolbox if you want it. So thanks, Chris, for asking that question.
So the answer is nobody's used it yet.
No,
I don't think so.
I deliberately don't use it, I like paper.
Okay.
I'm a note taker,
Yep.
but that doesn't mean I can't be I don't know, we'll see. Yeah. Next thing is superintendent transition. As you guys know, most of you, we did officially hire Ron at our meeting last week.
Has Tom signed the contract?
Tom
He
did sign the
Yeah,
contract.
yeah.
Yeah. So he is really hired, so.
I'll get him a copy of that.
I won't read this to you, you can see what Ron's transition proposal is.
So can I say something?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Ron talked to me first about a transition proposal, but he didn't say what he had in mind. And I had no idea exactly what he had in mind, so I reached out to Mike Ritchie, who was our consultant in the search, and said, is this a common thing? And so I just wanted to tell you, his answer was, yes, it's common. We generally see anywhere between 5 to 10 days prior to July 1st. If the new candidate has vacation time from his or her current district, and if they're willing to transition prior to July 1st, you do not have to pay him his per diem rate of his contract, but you will need to agree on a dollar amount, maybe $500 per day for up to a certain number of days. So that was his advice on this. And I just thought I'd get that out there before we commit to something. And he doesn't say how much he wants to be paid, so it's kind of open right now.
Does anybody have any comments about that?
What's the impact on the board superintendent retreat proposal like together?
We haven't seen anything as far as a retreat.
It's on page 2.
Is it?
And these dates aren't set in stone, right?
Oh, there we go, I'm sorry.
These dates?
So when I talked to him before, so we've done retreats with the last 2 superintendents. We used to search Carl, I can't think of his last name, who did the one where we hired Richard Zimmern. He then moderated a retreat where we were up at the college and we discussed things. With Mary, we used,
Joel May.
yeah, she was president of CISA 6 at the time. And so we used her and we did the same thing. We went to the college and she moderated a morning and afternoon discussion. And so I had told Ron that those were 2 things we'd done in the past, but HYA has facilities and that's what we used for the search. So they'd be willing to do it. Ted Knightsky, from CISA 6, he says is willing to do it as well. So it's really, if we feel comfortable with anybody, that's the big thing, is somebody's going to kind of lead us through the meeting, give us kind of a chance to talk to the superintendent about what the superintendent thinks is really important, what we think is really important, things like that.
I think WASB provides those
And
services
WASB
as
also
well.
provides it. Now, you end up paying, right, you have to pay for these things, you're not going to get them for nothing. The HYA is $2,500, I believe, for their transition work. I don't know what Ted Knightsky would charge, and I don't know what WASB charges, but it's usually cheaper than anybody else. Because that's the whole reason for existing is to
Right.
help the school board.
In terms of the dates for the retreat, I guess I would just ask that we figure that out as much in advance as possible, because I already have people scheduling into July. So, if these are during the day and I have to take off, that's gonna be really weird.
I think he's proposing it could be one of these days too.
Is there a budget
Is that
expense for
something
that?
that you would like to have on like, on the May board meeting? To determine that, or like to determine who you want to go with and what date and, you know,
Is there
something
anything
that,
that needs to be
that might be helpful,
Mhm.
and maybe within that, you could also consider if you wanted to do a daily rate for, not, you know, all, I don't know.
Starting on May 9th, we need to figure that out before.
Before the meeting, if you could.
Is that one of the dates, is that?
Yeah, the 9th and the 14th.
You have to communicate that with them, that those 2 days could be retro.
Oh.
Mary,
I
do
see
you
what you're-
remember when we did the one with you, what day, did we do that on a Saturday? Because it was a full day, we did a morning and afternoon, didn't we, Tom?
Yep,
It was all day.
at the college.
Which is an issue when people are working, so that's why I thought maybe it was a Saturday.
It is.
The 16th and 17th are Monday and Tuesday.
Same thing
The
as
ones that
this.
he's proposing are Monday
Mondays
and
and
Tuesday.
Tuesdays. Just to ask too, do we have that in the budget already for,
No?
no, for a retreat?
And there's nothing left.
Not a current year budget, but it's not that it's a huge.
Like out of the consulting fund or anything like that.
I think that was paid already.
And then
Jonah will be able to figure it out where to fund,
Mhm.
because it's a pretty small,
Yeah.
when you think of a budget of $27 million, it's a pretty small amount of money. He'll figure out how to cover it with something. So we can do anything we want with it. It's not gonna be super expensive. If we wanna do it at the college, we probably have to rent a room up there. It was nice to get away and be off by ourselves.
If we do it after June 10th, we potentially do that Boys and Girls Club.
If they have the space.
That's right. We can find out the prices for the WASB and Ted, is it Knightsky?
Yeah.
Knightsky as well. If HYA is 2,500, that way we can, find out the other two, so we have an idea what theirs would cost. So college would be an option, and then Boys and Girls Club, June 10th,
Excellent.
after June 10th. It'd be nice to see that.
I mean, he hasn't told us. What did he say? He didn't really say anything about a date for doing it with the school board. We can do it.
When I came, it was on Tuesday, August 3rd.
Yeah, it's later, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So he was already.
So you were here for the whole day, though?
She was already under contract.
She was
That was
under
under
contract, that's right.
So I personally would rather do the retreat after he's been on the job and has more of an idea of what's going on,
Okay.
than, so that he'll have an idea after meeting with the administrative team and after being on the job. If we did it in early August, he's gonna know more about the situation here, and so we aren't gonna have to go through as much trying to get on the same page.
Plus, that would help people when you looking at out as far as scheduling with jobs and everything too as well, correct?
Yes. What is the retreat, or is it with the school board, or is it?
That would be with the school board, it'd just be us and him, and then somebody to kind of moderate the session and help lead us through things that are important. I mean, that's part of it. We have our own ideas of what's important, but there are also other things that we might not think about that somebody coming in, like from WASB or from CISA 6 or wherever, they've already got experience with all these things, and they have ideas about things that the superintendent and the board have to think about.
We don't have to worry about like
So we don't have to plan.
meeting laws or anything like
it's
we're all
open, it's an
together.
open session meeting.
Okay.
Not the college doors open, but I don't think it's not anything of great interest, it's just everybody kind of getting to know each other. We talked through Robert's rules, we did an exercise on kind of like, here's a bunch of tasks, is this superintendent responsibility, is this board responsibility, is it both? Just some of those kind of things, just to learn.
We had also talked about having a nice dinner with him, or with whoever was offered the new position. Mary and her husband had it at the
That would
college,
be a nice time to do that on the day or something.
and maybe do that same day. That's something to look into also. So should we,
So if we're gonna do it that timeline, then we can
talk about it, yeah,
actually talk about it at the next meeting.
and talk about it the next meeting and vote in July.
So we gotta do
Right, we'll talk about it, yeah, talk about it in June first. Yeah, then he'll already be. That sound okay to everybody?
David, did Ron talk about meeting with each board member at all before he starts?
He did not talk about doing it as part of the transition, but he did talk about meeting with us all as soon as possible individually.
Okay.
I don't know,
One of us on the-
so I don't know what he
Yeah,
had
I
in mind.
remember that too. In one interview, he said that, the 2 interviews, he talked about
Yes,
that.
he also said it there, yeah. So he wants to talk to us all individually, but he hasn't put it in his plans. I think when he comes up here, he really wants to talk to people he's working with more than us. But if we wanted him to do that, I mean, he set this up for 10 days. We don't have to accept this if we don't want to, or we can say, yeah, that makes perfect sense, so.
Well, and perhaps some of that could fit into this 10 days.
Yeah. We could probably all find bits of time to schedule something with him.
One-on-one.
Because he wouldn't have to do it all in one day, he could do it,
Right, kind of like Mike did with our
yeah.
phone calls. Yeah. Should I contact him then and talk to him about that? Okay. Individual meetings during times when he plans on being here, right? Transition times, all right. Okay, next thing on our agenda is advanced planning.
Just before you move forward, is there anything that you would want Jolene to put on the May board meeting in terms of agenda items?
She's going to put on something about the transition.
But it would need to be motion and action if it was something that, like, if you were to look for you or those kind of things, to give you a chance to even discuss it.
Sorry, it's not question.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that, I don't know where you guys stand on the amount you're just gonna pay him. If we're not gonna give him his, prorated salary, whatever it comes out to per day, then you should know that, that's what the board wants to do before you talk to him.
Okay.
And I don't know what the board, personally, I think $500 a day is perfectly reasonable. Mike said it was reasonable, I would rather go with the $500 a day than.
We wanted to feel respected before he starts.
And just to note, on tonight's agenda, under superintendent transition, I did mark that as info/action. So if you would choose to take action tonight, it has been posted that you can do that, unless you want to postpone until May. Whatever you want to do, so, okay?
Do we have a motion to accept the $500 per diem?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second?
Denise,
No, we have to vote. We vote.
This one, I don't remember if Jolene set it up so she could take the.
I can add, I think I can add.
Okay.
it.
Looks like we just give me just
Normally, we vote
Just a
on
second
it.
here.
So she can add that motion and we can vote on it.
Okay.
so just to clarify, the motion is to accept the dates that he's proposed with a $500 a day per diem.
I was gonna do it two separate. I guess I only said the $500 per day per diem. We can add, no, we can't, because we've already had a motion and a second.
He also told me, I have it here, he also told me some days that he is already not intending to be here because of prearranged vacations,
Okay.
which I should pass out to everybody. Never mind. That's not the one.
Okay, I think I have this wordsmith the way you guys wanted it. I'll just save it. And you probably will just need to refresh here. Oops, hold on, and I gotta change it to. Okay.
Can we modify it to,
Mhm.
say, up to 10 days?
Oh, yeah, we
Otherwise,
can.
right now, it's very open.
Yeah, it could be, right, all summer, or
Okay.
every day.
He has 10 days listed. So
Okay, so I'll do up to 10.
Can the modification be,
whoever who made the motion?
That you should make an amendment to the motion.
Amendment, amendment to the motion?
to accept the days as proposed and the pay together?
Well, I would just up to 10 days, because the dates might change depending on his schedule and the district schedule. Which is why I propose no more than 10 days.
Mhm. Good idea.
Okay.
Okay, now where do we find that, Joan, or you're not done?
I'm just gonna,
Switch.
I've got that noted that Josh made an amendment,
Okay.
so I'll put that in the minutes.
Second for the amendment? Sure.
Okay. Now why don't you guys go ahead and take a look at that item and see if I have it, see if I've got it where you want it to be, okay?
Where are we?
Yeah.
It's under,
You're gonna look under
Right.
superintendent
Oh, okay, so it's just
transition.
show on the that'll be under.
Yep.
But are we supposed to click on it? Or no?
No, because it hasn't been up for vote,
You'll be
she's just
voting.
asking if we can
Oh.
approve it. That's what we voted.
So David will issue a vote for it.
Okay.
Is it here? Do y'all see if it can scroll to the top? Are you synced with the meeting? Oh, yeah, how do that? Because I need to restart. There we go. Oh, oh.
Where's the motion? That's the.
It's
Down
right,
below.
it's right under the link.
Okay. Tom was the,
Tom and Denise did the initial motion, and then Josh and Chris made the amendment.
Mine's like slowly updating. There we go.
I don't see the amendment.
It's right here.
Right there, scroll all the way down.
So, yeah, I moved to approve $500.
I can call for the vote, but it's not, but there gotta be two votes, because there's the amendment and then there's the other one. And I don't have this, it's not showing up on top as two motions.
Oh,
Okay, let me,
Right, we have to add a motion, we have to, I think we have to do amendments, we never.
here, let me do this.
We've done friendly amendments before.
Okay.
It's not the proper way to do it.
Right.
Here's the,
You know how hard it was for me to get the college to stop doing friendly amendments?
did you want it?
To get the college to stop doing friendly amendments. They don't exist, everybody thinks they exist and they don't.
is that what this would be called then?
Yeah,
A friendly,
if,
okay.
If
Some
we
people
can't
would-
figure this out, we'll
we might have to do it anyway, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
We do one of the votes by hand, the other by.
okay, so the original one was Tom, and the second was Denise. All right, this is new, I've never done this before. Okay, I see it on mine. I see the original.
Yep, I have it
All
too.
right, now let me try add a motion.
Yep.
And I'm gonna call this an amendment. And this was by Josh and by Chris. And I'm gonna call this, okay, I got that. Right, that's got up to 10 days prior. I think we have it, people. I'm showing a motion and an amended
Yep.
motion.
Yes.
Yes?
Mhm.
Yes, and now I will call for a vote, and I hope that it's on the amendment,
Okay.
which I think it will be.
It's yellow, so it should be.
So you can all click on your buttons.
Oh, I don't have, I still have Betsy and Gary and Kelly in here.
Yeah, but
I
they
have-
aren't really.
I
It's-
have,
it's-
I have to take them out.
You have the new ones? Okay, new people.
And I marked them as all here, and you notice it still adds up to 9, even though 3 people are here, so
Gotcha.
we're all right. Okay, so that one passes, so the amendment passes.
Okay.
Now are we ready to vote on the other one?
Yes.
Okay, so now what, so
So
I'll
you're
have to,
gonna do-
I'll have to create a whole new,
we vote on the original motion as.
Oh, I can set it active, here we go. Here we go. Should be able to, maybe, yes, should be able to vote again.
Okay.
so now we're gonna add a new motion, is that right?
No.
No,
Should be
So
okay.
because we added the 10 days on there, we don't need to do that.
As amended.
Oh, just, okay.
Actually, I don't
We
think
did.
this is. If you vote, I mean, this it doesn't seem like it's right. So the amendment was actually to add the up to 10 days to the other motion.
Mhm.
And so now really what we just did was we voted on the original one as amended, even though we hadn't voted on it.
We did the vote backwards.
Right.
Well, we would vote on the new motion as amended.
We should, yeah, that's what we really want to do,
Yeah.
so, I'm not clear, whatever we have. We really want to vote on the amended motion.
Right.
You can just take notes on this, Jolene.
I can.
Okay. You got buttons?
Mhm.
So this is the amended motion. This is voting to approve a $500 daily per diem pay rate for Robert Bard for up to 10 days prior to the start of his July 1st, 2025 contract. Sorry.
Well, we're really not gonna vote on the first one.
What we really did was, we all thought we were voting to amend the motion. So Jolene will just record that as a vote to amend the motion. And then this is the actual vote on the
And that was
amendment.
unanimous to amend the motion.
Okay.
Great.
Yes.
Mhm.
And as long as she takes notes and fixes it, we're okay.
Yep, and I will put that in the official
What we're
minutes.
seeing isn't correct.
What we're seeing What we're seeing now is correct, because this is the actual motion we wanted to vote on, right? To approve a $500 daily per diem and a pay rate for up to 10 days. This is actually what we want to vote on. His amendment was to add the up to 10 days. So that was the one we didn't do quite right. But everybody agrees that that's what we want to do, is add up to 10 days.
So it's not.
Now we're actually voting on that $500 up to 10 days.
Yeah, because we don't vote on the original.
Right,
Right.
and we don't want it unlimited days, we want 10.
Okay.
And it passes.
It passes. Thank you for working through that.
So I think I'm going to have to, on the notes from Ron, I'll have to get in touch with you.
Okay.
There are some days, he has already arranged some vacation days. I think he's going to Alaska in January.
Okay.
And in July, he's supposed to be at a wedding or something.
I think July was Alaska
Maybe I have
and
it backwards.
January said someplace else, but
Yeah, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's good.
Okay,
So
that's
did you
good.
have that message?
I do.
I was gonna say January in Alaska.
Because I think it's on my college email account.
Something.
I have it here.
You can go ahead and say that for me.
Okay. I have a niece getting married in Alaska at the beginning of July, and I am planning to attend. The dates for that pre-planned trip are July 5th through the 12th,
Okay.
which would mean I would miss the second week, July 7th through the 11th on vacation. I tried to build my transition plan to account for the days that I will miss being in Alaska. I also have another vacation scheduled in January that I'd like to talk through at some point. It doesn't have the condensed timeline that the Alaska trip does. That was his email to you.
Thank you.
So that's not something we need to discuss like right away
No.
in the last, or the January. All right, do we need to approve, the days then, or don't we because we did 10 days? The calendar,
You can talk to him about those
okay,
and see if because something may change in his, like, he's not here tonight because something came up at the school that
Sure.
he needs to be at. And so the same thing could happen, over the next 2 months. I don't know when he's going to be taking vacation days from that job, if he has them at the end of the year he's going to take.
just to let us know.
So he might have to rearrange things to make it fit his schedule.
Sure.
Those dates need to be flexible.
Right.
And in district ones, like with the admin team, and most people think are, you can maybe just let me know.
Yeah.
And we'll try to
That's
work around
okay.
your schedule.
Then I think we are on to advanced planning.
Can I ask a question for Mary or Jolene? Did the new board members get a Robert's Rules of Order book?
I never did.
They didn't get a book, but I can get that, I can get one to them.
And I think I got mine from WASB. And they also had a laminated card and it's really simplified. I think that would help.
I would love that.
I'm comfortable with you.
Those two.
Yeah, the card is I think, the one that's really important because it's the things that we do over and over and over again. I just have an understanding. The book's got more in-depth things. But also one of the things that doesn't come across, that people aren't always aware of is, in a small group like this, for example, you can make motions. You probably shouldn't on a regular basis, but if sometimes when you're sitting there, you ask if everybody's going to make the motion, and they're all sitting out here going, no, I'm not going to, but it's not because they're against it, they just don't open their mouths. You can actually make the motion.
All right.
The other thing is that Robert's Rules of Order, they'll tell you this if you read the book, are intended to make meetings run properly. They're not like black and white, you have to do it this way or something's going to fall apart.
Okay.
It's, if we wanted to set up our own things the way we do them, that's acceptable in Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
Okay? Because they're not supposed to be something that makes it hard to run a meeting. They're supposed to be something that just keeps everybody on the same page and makes it easy to run a meeting, and keeps people from interrupting when they shouldn't interrupt, and
Okay,
all sorts of things like that.
all right, thank
And
you.
David, you're really good about explaining the differences between straight Roberts rules and which are intended for really large groups and those that are used in small groups, which this is a small group. so.
I was just looking actually at the WASB website, and they have some upcoming, they have at least one upcoming Robert's Rules webinar coming up sometime in the next month or so.
And sometimes those are recorded, so you can watch it.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff on that site, you guys, just so you know.
I do have a Robert's Rules cheat sheet, and I don't know if I got this from WASB or not. This is just something I keep in my folder that I bring to every board meeting. But I'll look and see, you never know, they might have something new. I probably carried this around for a while, so.
At the state convention, we'll pick a delegate for it's called delegate assembly, and that's run by the book.
Yeah,
A good chance to find out.
because that one's really big.
That's a large.
That's like black and white. It's,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. All right, advanced planning, May 19th, at 5:30 is our retiree reception. That'll be here in the community room before our board meeting at 6.
How many retirees do we have?
Three.
There's only 3, yeah.
And you're one of them?
Yeah.
And Kari, thank you, and Nancy Bocane.
Oh, that's
And
right.
their grade after football.
And there's usually cake.
So y'all come in.
There will be cake, a lot of cake, because I can only order a certain point, so come hungry, Roger.
Oh,
All right.
If you're here, come hungry for cake.
Yeah.
And we just need to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So I,
Oh, sorry.
sorry,
Sorry.
I don't know if this would fall under advanced planning. I'm just curious what the board's role is during graduation. Do we have a role? Do certain people, what happens?
You're invited to be
Well, I
up
have to graduate, so I'll be there.
no, you're invited to be up on the stage
Oh,
to
okay.
shake hands with everybody. And if you have people graduating, sometimes you can even be the one that hands them the diploma, if you want to do that.
And Mary's lesson.
And that's open to anybody on the board that wants to do it. It just kind of gets a little bit silly if you have 9 people up on the,
Right.
because you're also going to
How many
have the
is it
principal,
normally
the
then?
superintendent.
I think we've kind
It's
of,
been three.
I don't know that we've ever had more than 3.
Yeah,
Four.
because they shake and you have the
4.
superintendent, then the 3 board members.
The last time I was up there were 4. I haven't been up since because I thought it was horrible.
Last
Oh,
year.
too many.
How long, when was that? How long ago was that?
That was before COVID, so that was 7 years ago maybe. And I just decided, no, if there's that many people that want to be up there,
Because then
I
there's
don't need to be up there.
principal
So.
and
Yeah.
vice
Oh,
principal.
a lot.
So there's a lot of hands that are shaking.
And some of the kids, you can tell they're pretty disgusted by the time they get all the way across the
Yeah.
stage. They really don't want to shake 70
But
people.
for sure, if someone
Yeah.
has a child.
That would be something that I'm sure the high school staff would appreciate knowing, just so that they can be planned in now.
Usually,
Should we talk about that now?
they'll usually the principal will send out a survey asking who's interested and you respond to that.
Okay.
Now, maybe Bill has not gotten to that yet, but
Can I just ask a question, how many of you have, other than you have someone that's graduating that?
I have Sabrina is graduating.
And Chris, you've got
Who's the
Libby.
other student?
I have Libby.
Child?
Well, there's 3.
Well, if the princess will allow it.
I don't care if my 2 want.
Well, mine is not a child. I was a special ed teacher and in Adams Friendship, and this student, when I moved here, shortly after that, they ended up moving here ironically, and I still do respite and everything, and so she was my student. I've been with her since she was 4, and she's 21.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. She called me tonight to remind me she's graduating.
So I'm sure it's super happy.
Yeah, is it
Thank you
forgot,
for
right?
letting me know, thank you. And then again, as Josh said, when that comes around, I'll let the high school principal know. And if for some reason there are too many, then he would reach out and you could talk
Sure.
about it then at the May board meeting.
Okay.
send Bill a reminder if you want, Lori.
What? Send a bill reminder?
Send Bill a reminder
Okay.
because last year,
He sent it out, or he was probably just waiting until, did
He
you not
might
do it
be.
last year?
oh no, last year he didn't know that he was supposed to do that. He thought that somebody else did it.
Because I know we sent out one for the staff.
Because then,
He
I
did.
hadn't gotten anything.
Just today, he sent out one for the staff. He's maybe working his way through his list.
Okay, we already have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Who made it, Katie?
Katie?
Oh, seconded.
Do we have a
I'll
second? Okay,